perfectly ready to do the recap for today.
I'm sure.
Define perfectly ready.
I mean, I'm assuming that you can do things. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sure I had a point.
I'm not sure you do, Sheep. You might want to think over it for another 20 minutes.
Ah, come on, DDS.
Are we recording?
I don't know, are we?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm professional.
We're always recording.
Always. Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Everything
we
else,
play something-
everything else, I'm gonna release as like a behind-the-scenes thing
So
when
some
I
of the-
become rich and famous.
Jonas, you can't do this.
DLC.
Yes.
Some of the things we said have been illegal in Germany. Remember?
The DLC for this session, just swish me $10 and
So, though, what actually did we do last time? Well, last time we started at where the Inquisitor camp was supposed to have been, but there was a lack of Inquisitor or camp. So we had gone by the assumption that yes, they have certainly moved their camp back to, well, not back to, but over to the other. I'm trying to think what guys they took over. Who did they take over? Need the map. Reference. Was it the Flametails they took over? Yeah, it was the Flametails they took over, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who then, we decided to fly in there, kill the Inquisitor, and anyone who resisted us. Mostly Inquisitor and his people, though. And convince them, well, mostly convince them, to go back to the, to go back to the Moon Clan and join up. After that, I believe we took a trip to the General, I believe, after that. In which case we encountered that camp, which surprisingly we didn't get attacked for once. It's a real change. Where we discussed, and the General would be willing to potentially help us if we could get him, I think it was 5 ballista with mithril bolts, some way to get the Flametails to fly, and to bring a snowstorm to the desert. The Great Battle. All of which are easier said than done. At least the last one.
They were certainly easy said by you.
To do them, well, that's our job now. And then I believe we went back to the Moon Clan, talked to some people, discovered more about our new potential prototype claws and other things we could get, other machinations. Did I miss anything?
There was one other thing.
The dead dragon we found.
Oh yes, there was a dragon we found. It had a magic journal, I remember. I don't know what colour dragon it was now. Brass?
It was
Bronze.
a dead copper dragon.
Oh, copper, right.
Okay. So we found a dead copper dragon who had somehow broken. He decayed far quicker than he should have for the location and predators around. Not a lot of stuff. Somehow, for some reason, walking through the desert, if I remember, with some stuff, including some magic items and a magic journal, which we interrogated because the journal spoke to us after we worked out that you needed to make jokes to activate it. Which told us some things. I need to open up my note to find exactly what, but yeah, that was a thing. We asked a lot of questions of it. Still not entirely sure what it all means, but you know. Where are we now?
You went back to the Cave of Scrolls, the somewhat hidden camp in the valley near the mountains of the Moon Clan, where the camp has certainly gotten busier over time as you were gone, as many of the people you have convinced to meet up here to prepare for whatever plans you eventually have. And most of them have arrived at this point. The Flametails and the General are not here yet, The general has said that he might eventually come over at some point, but until you prove that you can indeed deliver on your promises, he's probably going to take a while. While the Flametails just haven't been able to move as quickly as you have, considering that you can fly. The Flametails can't yet. You are here. It is the evening, currently, I believe, of the 13th of Ferest. And it's then where I will ask, what do you want to do?
Well, we had 3 things we had to do to properly impress the general. We need to negotiate a lightning, no, not a, like a ice storm. We need wyverns, and we need catapults and siege machines. And the siege machine stuff, we asked the clan basically go to Karmaga and fix that. We're sure you can. You can probably complete such a simple task by your own, and we'll see to the other 2. So we have 2 things: either go to the wyverns or go to the white ghost druid, dragon specter dude out in the desert. As to where we need to go first, I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I think
We wanted the wyverns to... Basically, I think the wyverns, because they need to probably train with the people when we get them. And also, the Inquisitor said that he would just trust us on the snowstorm thing.
Because we can't really show it to him beforehand.
Yeah, so getting that won't really get him here quicker. And we basically want them as much time to prepare as possible. We already getting the ballistae, so we just need to get the flying mounts. And then he'll be like, yeah, all right. And come and begin training with the people. Such.
All right.
So it seems like we should find that mythic wyvern again.
All right.
They must have had some way to call it.
All right. Maestrad Beastbane. We call him to us.
He will come out after being called. Look at each of you expectantly as you've interrupted his meeting with the others. Frowns slightly.
Oh, he frowns at us, does he?
Just a bit.
Yeah, these people are so disrespectful to us. It is amazing.
Next level, you'd be like 4 times as big.
Yeah, no. And he will scrape
He will
and bow.
ride you to battle.
No.
Yeah, on that topic, it is worth considering that you are not just suddenly going to explode and be twice as big. You're essentially almost there already. While you might not have been able to essentially look a normal human in the eyes when you first got your medium size, now you definitely can, and more so.
Loom above them. Well, we loom above him then, and Turks will ask how they contacted the super wyvern dude. What was his name?
His name.
I think he gets who it is.
Yeah, he knows who you mean. For the record, his name was Fokron Beastbane.
Yes, Beastbane.
Surprisingly, the same title that
Wait.
the chieftain gave himself.
Yes, are you related?
It's my wife.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My late wife.
I didn't mean to almost murder her then in front of you.
Well, when I met him, I guess, we somehow adopted him into the clan, you could say. I don't consider him my son exactly, nor my brother, but he certainly has a special place in my heart. As to how to contact him, well, there's one particular cliffside that we tend to leave our offerings on. It does signal to him that we want to talk. We give him some of our payment, some food, wait at the bottom of the cliff, and the next day he usually meets us to, well, discuss the terms. Although, of course, he doesn't really talk to us. We simply make him understand what we want from him. Which usually he agrees with, since it involves something he very much likes.
Very well then. If you could put together a normal offering for him, we shall deliver it to the cliffside.
Well, most of the payment he was supposed to get last time was given to you, and the initial payment usually is a quarter of that. He looks at you somewhat expectantly.
So how much is that exactly? I don't remember.
The payment was 2,000 gold pieces.
So he wants 500 gold pieces then. He must have badass treasure somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's not that bad.
let me check our cover sheet. How much treasure we
Our
have.
hoard. Our hoard.
Problem is if he says no, I'll just take the money and then leaves.
And then we kill him.
Then he is stupid.
We have enough in our hoard to pay this fine.
We do know that he is stupid, though. I mean,
He can't be that stupid. He's a vibrant, but not that stupid, right? He's special. How did he get adopted into clan? Would he have
he's not
notions?
stupid. He's special.
Would he feel? How would he feel about the Moon Clan as a whole?
Who? The Wyvern?
Yeah.
I don't think Fokran Beastbane cares much for our human society. If you can convince him to do whatever it is you require him to do, then he will do so, but there will be no, what's the word? He will not help the Moon Clan for the Moon Clan's sake, if that is what you're asking.
Does he have the respect of other Wyverns, though? Do you know?
I do not know, but I would assume so, at least. If they meet, I'm sure that he would be the one to dictate the terms on which they meet.
And what sort of thing would you imagine he would want? Beyond just, food and money? Anything special?
He shrugs. He seems to mostly be interested in the entertainment that our offers usually include. The payment is probably just for him to make sure that we know that he doesn't just come to us and deliver us our entertainment for free. The payment is for his dignity, as it were, whereas the entertainment is the actual pay.
Tyrannosaurus snorts at the sound of the Wyvern's dignity.
Makes sense. Certainly is a powerful being. Do you think he would find it entertaining to, be watching and be part of bringing down a great red dragon?
Well, there's a difference between arena fights and fighting a big red dragon. The latter fight isn't exactly fair, considering that the Watcher is quite the beast. It would be perhaps considered a challenge by him to perhaps bring down said big beast, however. It might also be a challenge that he does not think he would be possible to win. In which case it would be stupid to attempt in the first place, and he would likely simply leave.
Well, turns out we are quite able to win it. I was simply thinking that mostly our lesser cousins, I imagine, get annoyed when they're called exactly that. They might want to show that they can bring one of our kind low. And if it's a big one, then so much the better.
Perhaps.
Such
On the
an
other
egg.
hand, I'm pretty sure that your lesser cousins, as you call them, would also rather keep living.
True.
I suspect it all depends on the way that you convince them to help you.
Well, vengeance, the possibility for vengeance against someone who has no doubt harried them for decades. If they are, if nothing else, simple and vain creatures. Such an opportunity would not be easily sniffed at, I think.
Greater hunting grounds, perhaps? A part in the loot and treasure taken from the lairs of these great beasts could be promised.
It could be
Beyond
promised.
that, of course, the very entertainment of bringing big dragons low with the help of humans. Too much pride, and they would not allow anyone to ride them.
Chieftain shrugs. I wouldn't know what Wyvern's like. I know Fockrun, but the others, I wouldn't know. Fockrun is, as you say, special.
Having him on our side is the main thing. He can probably scare the others into line if needed.
Yes. Or at least somehow.
I doubt they have a
What else do we need
council
to
or
do?
some sort of democracy going.
I suppose talking to him would be the first step.
Indeed.
Very well then, seems like we know what we need to do.
You may leave.
He nods at you, says, I will get one of my men to show you the way to the cliff. Or perhaps, if you would want us to, we could also organize the meeting. But it might be better if you met him personally, of course. You are the ones that he needs to do a deal with, after all. Or rather, you are the ones who want to make a deal with him.
Yes, we will do the meeting, I think. Shouldn't be too hard to find. If I had a treasure spot where people deliver me gifts, I wouldn't make it hard to find.
It is rather easy to find, yes. Shall we leave tomorrow morning then?
Sure, it works for me.
It is half a day's worth of travel from here, although probably faster if you can fly.
Indeed. Well, let's make the tribute ready, I suppose.
Just 500 gold from the pile?
I suppose, unless Beastbane will front it.
I think he basically said that he didn't have enough.
He wouldn't immediately offer to front it.
Mm-hmm. It's his clan survival, after all. Are you telling me that the Moon Clan does not have 500 gold for their own survival?
Let's look at this pity. We can pay it.
Generous
coming from
dragons, my god. My god. Well, food, he said. I guess we can, like, catch and kill something on the way.
Yeah, that's not really difficult. I think he would more. I mean, he's a big one. He just wants. He wants us to give him something that's a token that we appreciate him.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. 500 gold.
Flour. Some chocolates.
We appreciate flour. Jugs of water might work just as well.
It's just, I love water.
Well, no, it's more like it's not because he wants whatever it is we give him. He's like, what are you gonna do with money anyway? It's just that we give him something to be like, oh, that's valuable. Like, so he feels important.
Sure. Some glass baubles. Some of those fake coins you can buy for like 1 gold gives you 100 fake coins.
Well, I mean,
would
that's
probably
not,
work.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's not really worth the risk.
I don't. I'm just saying. It's gonna be my fake hoard. Once I get my lair, it's gonna be like a huge pile of these wooden gold coins to distract the adventurers from the real
1
one.
million fake coins.
Yeah, basically
the
they.
real one is like just a huge ball of walnuts
Yes.
with all the real money.
Have an illusion
Makes
cast
cyanide
upon it.
from
I've invested everything into walnuts.
They are a trade good.
And they are, yes.
My money are all held in like a pit full of poison.
You could, yes.
Poison's not a trade good.
If I can get a pit full of lightning, I mean, I can keep it down there.
Well, you know,
Shall I get a pick of cold then?
Pit full of lightning.
I invested all my money into land. So my
Buildings.
treasure is just this big piece of land.
I own several buildings in Corvosa.
You don't steal that
I'm a real estate agent.
until someone burns it down to spite you.
Yeah. Well, I have insurance.
Which is why my land is in the Cinderlands. What are you going to burn? It's a huge trek because it's not worth anything. But
Yeah, no, it's very impressive how big it is.
I sleep on it.
You sleep on it. It's my land.
Dude, my dirt.
My treasure hoard is sand.
Araxis,
Yes.
would you like a treasure hoard of sand?
I
No.
think it's a cult that just built a huge pile of sand. Like it just
Yeah.
continues for ages.
How much sand can I buy for 5,000 gold?
A
Well, I
lot.
guess you just buy the labor, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
To move the sand.
To move sand. That's
Oh,
a shitty job.
that
Move
is-
sand to the Cinderlands.
Oh man, that's bad. That's real bad. Like,
6 copper pieces per day.
that was like laying asphalt in the
stop
middle of
off guard.
summer. You know, that's you're gonna die from that.
Well, regardless, we should get going then.
I suppose.
Wait,
But then,
we have to wait a day.
Away.
yeah, the next day, Mestra, the chieftain of the Beast Wranglers, will meet you with a small troop of his people, some of which you recognize from the big arena fights. And they will essentially head out. It does take a day and a half to get to the spot, since it is close to the Beast Wranglers camp, and they can't nearly walk as fast as, or rather, ride as fast as you walk. Ride as fast as you fly, so it takes a bit longer. But essentially, the evening of the 15th, just as the sun is about to set, you do reach the cliffside that at least the chieftain says is the right one. It looks like any other, really, but supposed to be the right one.
Well, I guess we plop the money down and we sit close by and wait.
Chieftain does inform you that it usually takes until either dawn or even noon the next day for Fogron to show up.
Oh, sure.
But he usually does show up the next day.
No, he probably only checks like once a day.
No, he has like a someone checking it for him. So tell me about Erglin.
What?
It's on the map. It's a new thing on the map.
Excuse me?
Erglin.
Yeah. Erglin is on the map because I forgot to put it there. It is a city slightly smaller than Kermaga and a big stronghold of orcs. It did not suddenly appear, it just wasn't on the map before.
So we simply haven't heard of the big city in the Cinderlands.
Savage villainy.
Yeah. So we want orcs and hobgoblins, maybe? Is there hobgoblins inside?
We have money enough for hobgoblins now.
Oh, maybe an elite company of archer
They're very
hobgoblins.
pricey.
Probably, but man, can you imagine the performance?
Just promise some glory. Be fine.
No, they are like pure
Hobgoblins,
mercs.
like, we want money though.
Yeah.
We're like the most organized people in the world. We take discipline seriously.
Yep.
Orcs are like the complete mercs. I don't think hobgoblins would be in that place though, because there's not. They usually live closer to civilization, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
you would not find hobgoblins in Erglin. In fact, if you want to know more, roll me a knowledge local, I guess.
I will ask Beastbane.
Oh, I think that's me.
I think I can do it too. Let me just check.
I just kind of did a Wheatley there. Oh, that's me they're talking about.
So I'll move you to this map.
Where?
Oh. Let's do it. This is the first time I get to use local, I think. I know shit!
The local area of Erglin.
Einavox probably knowing most of this from the scrolls, actually, in the Cave of Scrolls.
And she's still doing
Knows-
actually.
Actually, knows that Erglin is mostly inhabited by orcs, half-orcs, even some of the Shoanti who got either exiled from their clans or just went there to look for alternatives. There's probably more Shoanti in Erglin now than there were before, considering the whole, war with dragons. There's also quite a few giants in Erglin. One of the city's main features is the fact that it is not exactly built by the orcs. They simply took over the ancient ruins of a different city that was at that point. And as someone in chat pointed out, Erglin does mean second home in Orcish. It doesn't really have a leadership. It just has, whoever is strongest leads the people there, similar to what happens in Kermaga, but even less organized. It is very likely that the current leadership of Erglin is the priesthood of Rovagug,
Oh.
or
Those are lovely
something along
people.
those lines.
They like to destroy things, right?
Yeah, that's all they
Like
want.
Sunta, maybe?
They
Like
literally
destroy
want to
Sunta?
destroy everything.
Like destroy
Well,
Sunta? for
They don't want to
example?
destroy you.
Well, not me, surely.
Yeah, you. They want to destroy you. They want to destroy everyone.
Well, what if I'm also one of them?
You're not, though. Are you?
You don't know
Tyranus
that.
looks at the kayaks.
I mean,
Just,
I
Tyrax-
could be.
just do
Tyrax, have you
the,
ever noticed whenever he touches something, it starts to break?
just do the whole.
I
Remember
knew
when
it.
I went into your camp and
You knew who my father was, but what about my mother?
we must slay him now before he becomes too powerful.
Well,
I mean, they don't call us worms for nothing, right?
We need to kill
I
him
feel
now.
like I'm missing something here.
come on, we'll use your breath weapons.
Yep.
All
Get
three of us,
him!
we're all in range for our breath weapons.
Get him, boys!
Protection from energy.
You can't protect against all of them,
I can, as a matter of fact.
but not in one action.
No, that's true.
The night does eventually fall. The followers of the chieftain of the Beastbangers, Beastbane, go out to hunt. Find not much. They find like a small wolf. Then eat it, and burn it over a fire. Eat it almost raw.
Yeah, I don't
They
find
do
anything
do
on it.
offer you a piece as well, just
No, it's fine.
in case you can't hunt for
Do,
yourself.
do they want dream food?
I,
though?
dream,
You
I
know what?
dream of
Screw
food.
that. I'm gonna go hunt. I'm gonna show them what I can do.
Dream food.
Dream food.
About that dream food.
It's about being cool here. Yeah.
Dream food, please.
Buttery steamed crabs again. Delicious. Fresh caught lobsters.
Inox
frozen
will
turkey.
turn into a predator and go hunt.
And it's non-fattening.
Yeah, it is. It like completely it just feels great.
And
A non-fasting frozen turkey. I like
That would be the best invention today. You know?
Dream food.
Yeah, dream food.
Yeah. Einavox finds another large wolf, bigger than the one that Beast.
yeah.
Poor
You didn't
wolves.
wrestle it.
What?
But you didn't wrestle it down.
I did.
Oh, okay.
She kind of just bit it and it couldn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
She hunts in a predator form. Normally it would be her mountain lion, so it's not poisonous. In case the group wants something.
So you don't just fill it with horrible disease.
She doesn't do that.
Not this. It's like poison and acid. Into the
I mean-
bloodstream.
The nauseating bite, I'm just saying.
She doesn't have that when she's a mountain lion.
It comes with like 1 point of acid damage, right? So you'd assume that it's just corrosive stuff in your bloodstream, which I imagine is rather unpleasant.
Oh my god.
And some hours after dawn, the next day, a familiar figure that you can easily identify from a large distance flying overhead eventually lands and looks rather curiously at this conglomeration of creatures below his cliff, with the offerings somewhat in between your two groups.
It's like here.
He announces himself with a high-pitched shriek. The people of Beastbane, or rather the people of the Beastrangers, because both of them are called Beastbane, nod towards him with some respect, but definitely gesture towards your group.
Plop, 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 plop.
Yep, flap, flap, flap. I'm not going to be looked down upon.
We'll go here and sort of look up to it and say, Falkern Beastbane. We come bringing you a tribute and request a meeting with you. We have many things to propose and discuss. Over here.
He snorts, says in rather primitive, draconic, all things considered, "You took my payment."
The spoils of war, I believe.
And with our proposal, we might offer you an interest that is even greater than that petty cash. You don't really need the money, after all. So looks at him and says, but we will. Well, we have a task that we would ask you to aid us in. That might be more worthy of your status and your ability.
He snores, cocks his head slightly, says, "You talk, you pay, double pay now. Triple pay, yes."
So flaps up here. But how do we know you are? Well, we know that you're good. But to receive that kind of pay, you would need to be able to do something like, say, take on a dragon. A big one.
His eyes get a dangerous gleam for a moment. You fight? I fight all of you again. I win this time. No arena.
That would not be impossible to believe. But what about one of our bigger cousins? He's a big red one.
Fokron shudders visibly. No fair fight. Why fight Watcher?
Because we want the Watcher to be destroyed, all of us. And that is why we have come to you, Beastbane. We want to bring the Red One low, and we are gathering all the forces we can. One-on-one, the fight would not be fair, surely. But together, we can destroy the Watcher, and wouldn't that be something?
He will have treasure in his hoard, as many will, and we will offer you a great share of it.
How much? How big is Horde?
We don't know exactly, but usually you would say that a hoard is about a dragon's weight next to the others. And he seems pretty huge, all things considered. There will likely be some others coming as well, and if we can bring one low, then we can likely bring others. The spoils, in the end, will be rather huge, and we could not even carry that much for ourselves back anyway. Besides, would it not be quite the accomplishment? Even your own people could not deny that, well, following you into such a battle would, well, be glorious.
You would be able to take the skies back from the Watcher, and your people would not need to be holed up and afraid in the mountains. To fly free again, as it were.
You said that the fight would not be fair, and that is true. It will not be fair alone, but we have gathered allies. Down to the beast stranglers. These, for example, have come to our aid, and they highly suggested that you would be very interested in this sort of arrangement. We wouldn't want to cheat you, since this is, well, somewhat your mountains, so we would want to invite you. It would be, well, cruel and, well, stupid to anger you by cheating you out of this fight.
We will also bring to bear the awesome might of our draconic sorcery to further aid us in the struggle. Great storms will hinder the Big Red significantly.
It'll be the battle of the century.
He did narrow his eyes as he essentially started explaining all this. But roll me a diplomacy checks, please.
Can I assist?
Sure.
That is what I'm best at. Which is why he likes doing it so much.
That's another +2.
Awesome.
You promise things you don't yet have and cannot get without me. You want to kill Watcher, but what then? Why?
The Watcher has done something that our kind, survivor, and to include him in our kind, has never given up, and something you would likely deny giving up. He's given up his freedom, his ability to do what he wants to do, to fly as he wants to do, and he serves another, a giant who is not stronger than him, but has a thing to force her will upon our kind. We wish for that to not be possible, for we do not want to be cowed and controlled like him. To Fokron, you understand his power, and if he can be controlled, we are afraid that perhaps so can we. You and us. We need to break such power before it grows strong enough to do so. For we will not be slaves, and I imagine that neither would you want to. That is the true reason for defeating him. The treasure, the spectacle, those are additional things.
He nods slightly. Watcher controlled by giant. Therefore,
Yes.
Watcher dies?
Yes, if we could free him, that would be great. We are not sure how that would be done, though. We have spoken to him when he was, well, free, and he did not want to be slaves. If we could break him down, capture him, and hold him, that might be better until we can free him from the curse. He would likely join us in that case.
The giants must die in any case. They are too
Yes.
dangerous.
Santa cannot be allowed to exist.
No.
She has enslaved our kind. Those who fly should not be tamed to the ground. We can work with humans, but we do not serve them.
He nods again. I consider words. Others will not. Not yet. Perhaps could be convinced, however.
Yes.
Return in a week. Bring offerings again. And they will listen. I will make them listen. 1 week.
Nudge. 1 week, and we will return.
All right. When we return, it's going to be the wooden coins, right?
What?
Normal Vibrants, give him the real gold. The normal Vibrants
He's the only one
won't
gonna
know.
get that tribute. Only get normal items. Even
You can't pay 500 gold per Vibrant.
He repeats 1 week, then jumps off the cliff, grabbing as much of the offerings as possible, although not catching quite all of the food, just scattering it around the ground, and flies off. He did, however, catch all of the money.
Of course it did.
he
Oh,
deserves it.
does he?
That went pretty well.
Yes. Well, with that out of the way, I guess we need to court our druid friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Just looks at the beast paints. Negotiations went well. You may return to the Moon Clan camp. We have further business inside the Cinderlands.
In a week, we will return here, and I think you should as well. If one of the little things get uppity about the idea of, well, humans writing them, perhaps one of you would show him what humans can do.
Oh, I wouldn't miss that opportunity, even if the moon fell from the sky.
Good. A week.
You know, it's just barely enough time to travel back, tell the others what just happened here, because and then return.
Good. We will have a meeting, the Vivens of the Mountains. We will speak our case.
Indeed, indeed. Now then. Looks into the Cinderlands. I suppose we should be off.
Indeed. Come on, Vindra.
We take off. Flapping winds and buffeting winds.
You part ways with the beast wranglers, who make their way back to the main camp, while you head east. It's not that far of a trip, really. Half a day to the east. Avonix and Einvox at this point can easily point you straight at the easy-to-miss feature in the lands.
Mm-hmm.
And at afternoon, essentially, you make your way there.
Since Avonix and Einvox kind of knows what's going on in that ghost cave, do you want to lead the negotiations?
My diplomacy is terrible.
I don't think we need to diplomatize them that much.
It's
You don't?
No, I think he loves the idea of bringing like an ice storm on the Sinlands.
It's more like what would he need to do it, I think.
Well, I know he really likes Volnix.
Yeah.
I don't know how he feels about Ainavox,
I
but
guess if Olix can talk to him then.
he did share food with her, but still, I don't know how he feels.
we'll give-
about
If he wants Chilvaxus to get stripes, would Chilvaxus be okay with that?
No.
I mean, you know.
No.
Yeah,
No,
totally
he can-
not fair.
He can, you know, maybe if we send our Volix in with like a nice pink bow on his head and like a fruit basket.
Are you wanting to be attacked?
We just want to, you know, pretty you up a bit. Not to say you're not pretty, but you know.
I think the guy just likes white things, so maybe just send him in there.
Yeah,
just
I
Pull a
have
sheet
nothing-
over him. Boo!
I have nothing in diplomacy.
Well, you know, you two, his sort of buddies.
Mhm.
So let's just like go here.
Yeah, approaching the enormous dragon skull in the desert is certainly a strange feeling, not only for Ainavox and Avolnix, as it almost feels like it's breathing, continuously sending out cold waves, icy waves even, a huge contrast to the hot desert winds. And you can stare into its maw, deep, somewhere in there, a cave where you last spoke with however you want to call him.
In that case, you know. Have we go, right?
I'll go with you.
Down
Okay, sure, let's go.
down the long icy tunnel.
You did help.
Beware, Vendra, it's cold in here.
Close comfort.
Avolnix and Ainavox feel almost at home, whereas especially Avendra feels very quickly the numbing cold, the feelings of pins and needles that you quickly get, and the realization that falling asleep here might be very bad for your health.
Well, maybe we'll stay outside then. We'll keep watch. To get us an ice storm on demand, please.
Scream if you need us.
Yep.
Roar. More
Yeah,
likely.
war. We're not gonna scream.
All right, sure. Whatever suits you.
You can make your way down the long tunnel, and eventually you do again reach the significantly larger chamber sometime at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel does continue, but the way is again blocked by a large sheet of ice, and you do see the old man as he looks staring at one of the cavern's walls, listening to the quietly dropping icy drops of water hanging from one of the not icicles. There we go. He doesn't notice you immediately.
Looks over to Ainavox for a second.
She gives you a look that says, what?
You spent slightly longer with him than I did.
She shrugs and takes a step forward. Is it necessary to be inside the skull?
No, this is just for visualization.
Well, Inox steps... Did he tell her his name?
Yes.
Okay, so... greetings. It's such a funny name. Horakis?
It's Horakis.
Horakis!
He will slowly turn his head towards you, smile as he sees you, saying, Ah, Ainavox, Avolnix. This place does have a certain attraction that makes staying away from it for too long pretty difficult, doesn't it?
It's pleasantly cold in here.
Yeah.
Yes, that it is. Although contrasted to the air outside many places are, but this one particularly, I agree.
You know, I would to wonder, why not just spread this coldness?
He
She
raises an
smiles.
eyebrow.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to share this coldness with everyone?
Oh, it would indeed, it would indeed, and I suppose that might be a side effect once I complete my intentions here, but there's no need to hurry. What is a couple 100 years? There are many ingredients yet missing. There's no sense rushing things.
What ingredients do you miss?
Oh, this and that. This, after all, is only the body of the White Mother. But what I need is her mind, her soul. But that is unattainable for the moment.
Well, my thoughts is, wouldn't it be proper that the winter comes before the mother awakens?
The mother is the winter, my dear child.
But wouldn't the climate be better if it was winter?
Yes, I suppose it would be.
A cold shell for her reawakening, perhaps.
A reawakening that is yet far in the future, however. It would make little sense to attract so much attention by changing the desert considerably. Besides, the desert itself is an entity, as it were, comprised of many smaller entities, beings, spirits, I think they're called, and they very much like the status quo.
What about for a more short-term solution? A brief cold.
As entertaining as that thought would be, it would be expending the White Mother's resources, the White Mother's power, for little gain.
Well, what if there was a gain to it?
It does seem like you have specific intentions in mind.
That would not be untrue.
Then how about we speak the proper truth? I will tell you now that the Mother's power is limited, and while she is capable of doing many things, affecting the material world is a difficult task. Much power is needed, and it would also, as a side effect, attract much attention to this place. It has been easy to find for you in particular, but others it is rather difficult to find to my advantage. I know that you are in conflict with Sunta, and I know that she also knows of me. I know also that she currently has no reason to look for me, because I've not given her any reason. I have made myself difficult to contact, difficult to obtain, as it were, and I've done rather well with that strategy. Sooner or later, Sunta will, of course, disappear, as all the mortals do eventually, and then I will not have to isolate myself as much. But for now, I do rather like isolation.
Though, I assume you would agree that removing Cinder quicker, and of course, as a result, you being able to obtain a certain something from her would be better soon than later.
Oh, better soon than later. You younglings, you are quite interesting. I am not that old, I guess, myself, but I do have realized that time is not of the essence.
Though you want us to speak truthfully on what we want to, it makes it easy enough. Flowery words aren't what we always need.
No, they are not.
The Red Dragon, the Watcher as some people refer to him. We would like to take him down. in a more permanent way. Yet, how do you take down something that large when you personally are not strong enough, and most of the help you can get can't fly?
I see. I see.
Yeah,
You
I doubt a red
wish...
dragon can. I doubt a red dragon from Christian's well in a ice storm.
No, we would not. The first White's power would perhaps not crush him, but allow you to crush him, certainly. However, if you simply require the White's power, then perhaps there's another deal that could be made.
We expected as much.
Why cause a storm that attracts attention and is so unfocused if you four, I assume, are the ones requiring the power?
I'm listening.
Einavox has already felt the mother's touch, and, well, it has assured her continued existence. It can do other things for you as well. All it requires is a bit of commitment.
Commitment?
To the mother, of course.
Looks to Einavox questioningly.
She shrugs. She does not remember any ill effect.
Ruckus shrugs.
What kind of commitment?
Well, I think that is rather obvious. Of course, it is not obvious, I suppose. It is a subtle thing. And you, dear Einavox, don't worry, you are yet unaffected. It has to be something that is done voluntarily. The rewards are great, but so are the responsibilities, of course. I suppose if it is a storm you wish, however, you'd have to do some things for me at least. It would not be something I will expend the mother's power for just so carelessly. Besides, it would be impossible at this moment unless certain things are done.
Oh.
As I've said, the land itself would refuse the first White's influence here, and in fact does so at this very moment, and will continue to do so for many years. Well, for all eternity if it weren't stopped, of course, and eventually I will have to handle that particular problem. You see, as I've said, the spirits very much enjoy the current state of things and will continue enjoying the current state of things. They will have to be convinced. No, that is not the right word. They cannot be convinced to accept change. They can, however, be destroyed. The people of the Cinderlands revere those spirits. They see every stone, and they see a spirit in every stone. And while that may be almost true even, the smaller spirits don't really matter. Even the stronger spirits in this world, they influence little, just enough to make sure that people think that they exist, and just enough that they gain whatever satisfaction they are looking to gain by doing these things. However, they really are a plague on this land, and I wish I need them gone in the very, very near future. If I am to be successful here, at least. In short, the less of those spirits the mother has to contest with, the easier it would be to, for example, for me to provide a service such as grounding the Watcher. Luckily, you are currently in a spot where you have rather easy access to at least 2 rather powerful spirits. More I'd have to track down for you to take care of. I might even join in myself in the fights. Some of them, at least. I do not wish to travel too far from this place, nor do I wish to make myself available for Santa.
So killing these spirits will bring winter here?
That could be one of the effects, yes, because it would both make it require far less power to actually affect the material world here, as well as convince me that it is a good idea. It would make my work here easier, at least. Perhaps I could even make more progress after you've done these things. Of course, two powerful spirits even, would not have as significant of an effect on my work here as I would like, but they would be a good start.
Which two do you refer to? Just to ensure we're on the same page.
Oh, spirits can take the form of many things. You have recently captured a herd of aurochs, I do believe, that are currently roaming in the Moon Clan's territory. They, of course, are simply aurochs, however, they also are protected by one said spirit.